Thank you for joining us. I am here with Tom Scherlen, who is a current council member for Council Member Place 3, and he is looking to be reelected. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start something pretty quick and easy. Just tell us a little bit about your resume and qualifications. What makes you the best candidate?
Well, my qualifications are, I'm running for re-election. I was elected 2 years ago with a pretty sounding vote, and I think I received close to 60% of the vote. And I feel like in the last 2 years I've done an excellent job. I've reached out to the citizens. I hold town hall meetings every other week. I invite the citizens down. I want to hear what they have to say. Every time I go out, I'm going out not just as a councilman, but as a neighbor, as a friend. And then I look at my qualifications. I came from a business background. I was a CEO of Austin Distributing / Austin Hose. I spent 38 and a half years there. Me and my wife been married 51 years. I know what commitment means. So that has a lot to do with what you're doing. My biggest thing is I want to represent the citizens. I call myself the citizens councilman because when they speak, I listen. Before I make any vote, I have a lot of times I go out into the community and ask their feelings and thoughts, and I want to know what the community thinks. And there's a lot of things we do that I don't care what you vote on. There's people out there that are going to like the vote, people that don't like the vote. But you've got to do what you think is right at the time. And you've got to have a strong backbone because there's going to be people that come after you and people that don't. And the ones that like me this week probably won't like me next week. So that's the way I look at it. We've got to have a good leadership from the top. And I feel like being one willing to listen, being one willing to work with the people is the most important thing of all.
Yes, sir. That's amazing. So tell us a little bit about the platform that you're running on. I know a lot of people are focused on public safety and infrastructure.
Correct.
And I'm sure that's something you're interested in as well.
I mean, my major thing is public safety because that protects our whole community. Fire, police. We just opened a regional crime center, which is going to be terrific. We're getting to place more and more emphasis on public safety because we cannot think we are safe. I don't care where you live in the United States, we've got to be prepared. We just started a new position who is going to be a liaison between police, the sheriff's department, both counties, the feds, and what he's going to do is create a communication line between all of the players. I mean, we got Pantex involved. We've got Bell Helicopter involved. All of these are sites that people may want to attack at some point in time. So what we're trying to do is create a communication line between the city, the counties, the federal government, and by doing so, we're going to protect the people of Amarillo. We found out previously, not that long ago, that all the communication for the Panhandle was in one building downtown. And through this, that's when we decided we knew we needed to start doing things that will change the appearance. We need to divide up where all our communication, because if that one building, something happened, the whole Panhandle would be in the dark, wouldn't know what's going on. So public safety is number one. I want to keep representing the citizens as number two. That is very important to me. Number three, we've got to take care of infrastructure. We're in the process of taking care of a lot of things that we had talked about. For instance, roads. What I'm saying is for roads, I mean, we went in 2 years ago and we allotted, we were going to borrow $1 million a year, which would create a tax increase of less than half of a cent. And we were going to raise between $12 and $14 million for roads, which would be a guaranteed every year. Well, we found out during that process, we're getting ready to do it, and then we found out we couldn't do it because we hadn't spent all the money from the 2016 bond issue, which threw us into a tailspin, because then we got to find, well, how much money do we got? What do we got to do? And come to find out, we found $34 million. We had to get it spent. We're spending it on South Georgia, from South Georgia to the Loop. And we'll get that taken care of. And now we can start our 10-year plan by at least putting $120 million to $140 million a year into streets that will be budgeted, instead of waiting for bond issues to come around and do that. So, to be truthful, we're working on the issues. The problem is we didn't know we had an issue until it showed up. So, you know, when we're taking a big hit about chug holes or you know, bumps in the road or whatever, but in reality, that doesn't come back to us. That goes back to previous councils. In the same way with infrastructure, our wastewater plant didn't come to capacity in the last 2 years. It's been coming to capacity for the last 50 years. So in so doing, we are working on it. I mean, we've gone to the, we got $38 million from Ronnie Jackson's office, who is going to help us get with the Corps of Engineers, helps us design the plant. Now, we do have one kickback. We're waiting for that to be appropriated. And once it's appropriated, we'll be able to go forward with our plan.
Of course. And so, and you've kind of mentioned this a little bit in the last couple minutes that we were talking, but what is something that you want to kind of push forward if you were to be reelected in the next 2 years that maybe your past administration or even administrations before that haven't been able to get done because of?
I would love to continue. This year, we put in $1.4 million into a health clinic at the health department in North Amarillo. And that was put there for prenatal, postnatal care, because in Potter County has the highest mortality rate in the state of Texas. So we felt it very important that we address those issues with good health. I would love to see that grow from prenatal to postnatal to maybe dental, eyeglasses, the whole thing. There is a lot of things that we can do for our citizens, but what we've got to focus on, instead of focusing on wants, we need to focus on needs. There's too many times we see something we want, and it's like you walk down the aisle of a store and you say, oh, I got to have that, when in reality you really need it. So we're to a point in the city's history that we've got to make sure what we spend money on is actually needed and not just a frivolous want.
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Tom Scherlen. We appreciate you. Tell us a little bit in about a minute or so why you are the best candidate and why people should vote for you.
I believe I'm the best candidate because I represent the people. And that's what the American government is founded on. It's represented by the people, for the people. And I think in years past, the people have not been heard. They've been listened to and ignored. There's a lot of things. I mean, we can go back to 4 years ago when we had a bond election for a civic center. The people voted it down, but yet the city council was going to go around it, and that's not the way you operate. If the people say no, it's a no. We don't need to ever go around what the people want or what they desire. And I feel like that is a very important thing, is representation by the people, for the people, because as a city councilman, I am the conveyor of the citizens to the city management. I carry the message from the people to city management. Then we get to work on it and see if we can do it or can't do it. But I feel like I'm a good conveyor, I'm a good negotiator. I think I can make things happen. And that's the most important thing, is having somebody in a leadership and that's willing to go beyond, above and beyond, to carry the people's wishes forward.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Scherlen. I appreciate you for coming and talking with us and telling us a little bit more about your ideas, and good luck with this election.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.